No one ever remembered the shy waitress's name. They remembered the food. They remembered the noise of the restaurant, clinking plates, laughter, impatient voices calling for service. But Lena moved through it all like she was made of air. She kept her eyes lowered, shoulders slightly hunched, as if she were apologizing simply for existing. When customers spoke to her, she nodded quickly, wrote things down carefully, and left before anyone could ask her more than necessary. Her voice, when she used it, was barely louder than a whisper. "Thank you. Coming right up. I'm sorry." Those were the only words most people ever heard from her. But every Thursday evening at exactly 6 o'clock, one table changed everything. The elderly woman arrived alone, always dressed neatly, her silver hair pinned back with quiet dignity. She carried herself with a calm that felt different, unbothered by the chaos around her. The hostess knew by now to seat her near the window, where the light was soft and the noise slightly lower. She was deaf. Most waiters found her difficult. They grew impatient repeating themselves, exaggerating their mouths, or scribbling sloppy notes. Some avoided her altogether. Lena never did. The first time she served the woman, she froze when she realized the customer couldn't hear her. Her hands trembled as she pointed at the menu, unsure what to do. But instead of walking away to ask for help, Lena stayed. She remembered something. Late nights. A dim room. Her deaf aunt smiling gently, guiding her small fingers through the shapes of language. Lena slowly lifted her hands and signed, awkward but sincere. "Hello." The woman's eyes widened. In that moment, the noise of the restaurant faded. The woman smiled. A full, radiant smile that seemed to soften the years in her face. From that day on, Thursdays became sacred. They spoke in signs that weren't perfect, but they were honest. Lena learned new words every week just for her. Sometimes they talked about food. Sometimes about memories. Sometimes, the woman would simply watch Lena, as if listening to something deeper than words. No one noticed their bond forming in silence. No one noticed the way the woman's loneliness eased, or the way Lena stood a little straighter on Thursdays. Until one evening, when the woman didn't order food, she ordered destiny instead. That Thursday, something felt different. The elderly woman arrived as usual at 6 o'clock, but she didn't open the menu. She didn't smile right away either. Her hands rested on her purse, fingers intertwined, as if she were holding on to courage. Lena noticed immediately. "Are you okay?" she asked out of habit, then caught herself. The woman wouldn't hear it. Lena raised her hands instead. "Everything all right?" she signed. The woman nodded, but her eyes shimmered with something heavy, anticipation, maybe fear. She reached into her purse and pulled out a thick, cream-colored envelope. The kind made from expensive paper, the edges sharp and deliberate. She slid it across the table. Lena frowned slightly and shook her head, confused. "For me," she signed. The woman nodded again. Slowly, Lena opened the envelope. Inside were several neatly stacked pages, official and intimidating, filled with legal language she barely understood. Her breath caught when she saw the number printed near the bottom. It was more money than she earned in a year. Her hands began to shake. I can't," Lena whispered aloud, even though she knew it didn't matter. She pushed the envelope back. The woman gently stopped it. Then, carefully, she signed. "I don't need a nurse. I don't need pity." She paused, her hands trembling now too. "I need someone who sees me." Lena swallowed hard. The restaurant noise roared back into her ears, laughter, plates crashing, life moving on while her own seemed to freeze. She thought of her overdue rent, her brother's school fees, the eviction notice folded in her bag. But fear crept in too. "Why me?" Lena whispered, tears blurring her vision. The woman took her hands across the table, holding them firmly, warmly. Her grip was steady, reassuring. She signed slowly, deliberately, so Lena wouldn't miss a single word. "Because you talk to me like I am still alive." Lena broke. Tears slid down her cheeks as she nodded again and again, ashamed of how desperately she needed this miracle. The woman pulled a pen from her purse and placed it in Lena's palm. "No pressure," she signed. "Only honesty." Lena hesitated, then signed her name. The pen felt heavier than it should have. Neither of them noticed the man at the bar watching quietly, eyes narrowed, phone already in his hand. And somewhere far away, a billionaire's life was about to collide with a shy waitress's fate. The taxi stopped in front of iron gates so tall they seemed to touch the sky. Lena stared through the window, convinced there had been some mistake. This can't be right, she murmured. Beyond the gates stretched a mansion wrapped in soft golden light, its windows glowing like quiet stars. The driveway curved gently, lined with manicured hedges and stone statues that looked older than memory itself. Everything was calm, too calm. The gates opened silently. As the car rolled forward, Lena's heart pounded harder with every meter. She clutched her small suitcase, the only one she owned, its zipper broken, clothes folded with care to hide how little there was. A uniformed housekeeper waited at the entrance. She smiled politely, but her eyes flicked over Lena with quick curiosity. "You must be Lena," she said. "Welcome, welcome." The word felt foreign. Inside, the mansion smelled of polished wood and fresh flowers. Lena's shoes echoed on marble floors so shiny she could see her own reflection, small, nervous, out of place. Portraits lined the walls. Powerful men, elegant women, generations of wealth staring down at her like silent judges. The elderly woman, now dressed comfortably in a soft cardigan, took Lena's hand and squeezed it gently, as if sensing her fear. "You're safe," she signed. They showed Lena to her room. It was bigger than her entire apartment. A bed with white linens. A window overlooking a garden. A private bathroom with towels folded like something from a hotel. Lena stood frozen in the doorway, afraid to step in, as if the room might disappear if she touched anything. That night, she unpacked slowly. She placed her clothes carefully in one corner of the wardrobe, leaving most of it empty. She set a photo of her younger brother on the bedside table and whispered, "We're going to be okay." Dinner was quiet. The woman ate slowly, watching Lena with gentle interest. They spoke in signs, about simple things. The garden, the food, the stars outside the window. Yet something unsaid hung between them. Later, as Lena lay in bed, she couldn't sleep. The silence was louder than any noise she'd ever known. This wasn't her world, and worlds like this always came with rules. Somewhere in the darkness, a phone vibrated. Across the ocean, a man read a message that made his blood run cold. "My mother signed a contract. With a stranger." Lena closed her eyes, unaware that the safety she felt was temporary. The storm was already on its way. The sound came first. Not footsteps, authority. The low hum of engines outside the gate cut through the morning calm like a warning. Lena looked up from the kitchen table, her hands still dusted with flour. The elderly woman was beside her, smiling as they shaped dough together, their movements slow and companionable. Then the front doors opened. Conversation stopped. Staff straightened instantly. Someone whispered, "He's here." Lena turned just as a tall man stepped into the room. He wore a dark coat, tailored perfectly, like someone who didn't bend to the world, it bent to him. His presence filled the space without effort. His eyes, sharp and assessing, landed on Lena and didn't leave. Adrian Cole. She didn't know his name yet, but she felt the weight of it. "Mother," he said firmly. The elderly woman looked up, surprise flashing across her face. She rose, her hands already moving in sign. "You're early." His jaw tightened. "I came as soon as I heard," he signed back, fast and precise. "Who is she?" All eyes turned to Lena. Her throat went dry. I work here," Lena said softly, then shook her head, unsure. She felt suddenly very small, flour-stained hands clasped in front of her like a child caught somewhere she didn't belong. Adrian picked up the folder resting on the table. The contract. He flipped through it once. That was all it took. "This is inappropriate," he said coldly. "You were taken advantage of." The woman's hands stilled. "No." One sharp word. Clear. Unyielding. Adrian's expression darkened. He signed again, slower this time, trying to control his anger. "You don't know her." Lena's chest tightened. She tried to speak, but the words wouldn't come. So she did the only thing she could. She signed. "I never asked for this. I tried to refuse." Adrian's eyes flicked to her hands. Hesitation, just for a moment. Then he shook his head. "This ends today," he said. "I'll compensate you, generously. Pack your things." Lena bowed her head. She turned to the woman, tears filling her eyes. Before Lena could step away, the woman reached for her hand. Her signs were slow, careful, powerful. Please don't send her away. She listens to me. The room fell silent. Adrian stared at his mother's hands, then at Lena's tear-streaked face. For the first time, doubt crept into his certainty. And somewhere deep inside him, something began to crack.